Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, good morning.
Welcome back to Real Talk with SLR.
How are you guys doing today?
Well, guys, we finally spilled the beans.
Yes. Yes, we finally let it out.
Yes.
Cat's out of the bag.
Cat is fully out of the bag.
Yes.
I don't know where that saying came from. It doesn't sound very nice, but you know what I mean.
I don't know. I don't know where that came from. That's a very good question.
I don't know. Who was putting cats in bags? That doesn't sound very nice, does it?
Everybody knows what we mean when we say that, but
Of course.
But
It's
yeah,
just like spilling beans. Like, that would be bad. It would be bad to spill all the beans all over the place.
It's not spilt milk.
Right?
I mean,
You can't cry over that. Anyway, early morning squirrel action.
Oh,
we
man.
finally did it, guys. We finally let you guys know what our big plan is that we were hiding from you guys for a while. And if you missed it, if somehow, some way you missed it, it's posted on our main channel, Simple Life Reclaimed. It's the latest video, and we talk about all the things that we're going to talk to you guys about deeper. Like, we're going to answer your questions today, but we go over all of that stuff, the changes and everything in that video on Simple Life Reclaimed. So if you're out of the loop, stop this video, go over to Simple Life Reclaimed, watch that video, and then come over here and you might get your questions answered, because we're going to be answering a lot of questions today.
yes.
I have got my handy dandy notebook.
Yep, there's quite a bit.
Yeah, there's quite a bit. So we're going to definitely go through that with you guys today. I'm so excited that we can finally talk about it and, you know, be more open and transparent about it. But the thing is, the reason why we were holding a lot of it back was because, one, we hadn't finalized a lot of these plans. They were just kind of talk.
How many times have we changed the house plan?
Yeah. Yeah, we wanted to bring it. We wanted to bring it to you guys when we were like more sure, and then also once we got some of the building materials here on site.
Correct.
So that way we can give you guys a more solidified timeline, because that's always one of the very big questions whenever we talk about things that we want to do or plans. Then it's always, okay, great, that's awesome plan. When?
Yeah.
And we appreciate it, and we love that you guys are so in our corner. It's not it's funny, but it's not a bad thing in any way, shape, or form. It's good. But we knew that we were going to get that, and so that's kind of why we were like, let's just wait, and let's make sure that all these ducks are lined in a row and one doesn't wander off somewhere. And
Right.
yeah, so we did, and now you guys know.
Yep.
So today I've got a full day ahead of doing all the baking. I'm going to be cooking like hundreds of cookies and getting everything more solidified for our holiday plans. Yeah, yums for sure. I'm finally going to get my snickerdoodles, which is going to be great. Got to make them. If you want them done good, you got to do it yourself, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And I know you're going to have a very busy day today.
Yep. I've got to bring that trailer back to S&W, run some errands in Booneville, and then hurry my butt back home because I've got to change gears a little bit. We've got this polar vortex,
Arctic blast,
whatever you want to call it, coming in, and it's gonna be cold.
It's gonna be really cold.
Really, really cold. So I've got to build some animal houses for these animals and everything, and make sure that they're gonna be nice and cozy and good.
Yeah, and we're gonna prefab them with like heaters and stuff. You guys will see.
Yes.
You guys will see. We have plans for that too. So that's upcoming in a video near you, what we get done today. But the weather changed. So like I think we were just talking about it yesterday.
Yep.
We're like, oh, it's going to be 3 degrees. That's nuts. Well, now they're calling for 1 degree. One. So I know it's only 2 degrees, but that just sounds more severe, doesn't it?
It's nuts.
It just sounds more severe.
I don't know. That's crazy.
I know. And I know all you northerners and all you folks in Canada and over there, you guys are laughing at us like, that's a nice spring day. But we're not used to it. We're desert people and we live in the South. So getting that cold is definitely
It's
not
been a
usual.
long time since I've seen, the really negative numbers and whatnot.
Yeah.
But that's Idaho. That was fun. But I was a kid. And it's different when you're an adult and not a kid.
Yeah. Your parents were tough, man, having to deal with all you kids and that, oh.
Man.
Ooh.
Yeah, no. It was fun times. I mean, I don't know about now. No. I'm glad that we only get snow a little bit and it melts away within a week.
Well, we're desert acclimated now, right? And now we're getting more acclimated to the south and the humidity, but we're like high temperature acclimated.
Correct.
You know, we're heat hardy.
Correct.
So.
So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
It's basically, it's a winter, you know, it's winter. It's going to be cold.
It's going to be, if this is any prediction of what like the deep winter is going to be like, man, we're in for it this year. Because it's still, no, today is winter. You're right. Today is winter day. First day of winter.
Yep.
So if this is any indication on what we're all in for, buckle up, folks, because it's going to be a cold one. Mm-hmm. So make sure, again, I'll say it again, make sure all of your provisions are in place. Make sure all of your pipes for your water are good to go. Make sure you guys got backup power if, your power situation goes out.
Yep.
Extra coats, blankets, whatever. Just try to do, and water, make sure you have extra water. And just, do the best you can to take care of all that stuff. Dot your I's, cross your T's. And pray for the best.
Yep.
Yeah, So we're all in for it. We're all in this one. We're all riding the same wave.
Yep. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be interesting.
It's gonna be fun.
It is gonna be fun. Like I'm looking forward to it because it's a true test of the basement and everything. I mean, we've got heaters and everything else like that. So.
And so far so good.
So far so good.
So far so good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Gary's gonna get busy today on building out some stuff. I will say that the baby kittens are not going to be inside the horse trailer. They will be inside here with us.
Correct.
During the super, super freeze. Some of the other ones that we have, not the kittens, but the adult cats, they wander off, man. They're not, they're feral, sort of. Like, they're not feral to where you can't touch them, but they definitely are outdoor animals.
Yeah.
And,
they've got their own ways of getting warm and everything, but we're still going to build them a little house.
Yep.
And show them that area so that way they know.
Yes.
And that way they were like, hey, okay.
When it gets really cold, this is where I go.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to be all right. But the baby ones, we are going to bring inside. And probably they're going to have to be cage life in it again, which is going to suck for them because they've been having that huge space. But they will be all right and they will survive, and that's key. So we're going to make sure that everything's taken care of there. So we've got a lot of questions that we've got to go into, guys. I got the whole notebook out today, handy dandy notebook. I went through the comments section yesterday on that video that we posted for you guys. And we're just going to dig right into it. So again, if you guys don't want any spoilers, you guys haven't seen that video, go over to SimpleLifeReclaimed, watch it, and then come back because now we're getting into it.
Oh, yes.
All right, so Tony H. had a question. He says, plans look great, but I'm interested in getting plans, and I am interested in getting plans drawn up as well. How can I contact the person that drew those plans for you? Thanks. So thank you, Tony H., for asking. I will say that so I want a full disclosure. She is one of our awesome subscribers, but she is not a like a licensed architect or any kind of, she just does, it's a hobby of hers.
Yes.
So it's not something that, I don't know. I don't really know if she would, but you are more than welcome to reach out and contact her. The Quest Matrix website or YouTube page that I had linked in the comments section, somewhere in her About Me section, I believe she has an email listed. Send her an email. You never know. She might be open to it. But she's not an architect or a designer or any of that kind of stuff. So the plans that you would be getting would be kind of like, how we drew it up on a paper, would be somebody just doing it. So it wouldn't be like liability, and I don't know all the legalities or anything of that. I have no idea. No. But for us, it was a huge step up to what we were going to work with, which was that chicken scratch drawing, and we were just going to go for it. So, correct. I mean, it was a huge bonus for us. Thank you again to Sean Clark, Quest Matrix, for helping us out with those plans. Mm-hmm. And check out her About section. She might have an email address listed.
Heck yeah.
This one is from Soren Peterson. Since I am in Denmark, just a question as to why you want the best view to be at the kitchen sink and not in the living room. I would switch the kitchen and the living room.
That's... I say that's more personal preference, but I don't know. My wife's going to be doing a lot of the dishes and cooking and everything, and I want her to have the view.
Yes.
not us sitting down watching TV.
Plus the orientation of the front door and the back patio, right?
Correct.
So when you are looking at our basement and you see the doors and you see the windows and the kickers, right? That's technically the backyard. And the front, which there is no door, this is actually the wall that will be in the front.
Dirt is probably
dirt.
about, up here out of the
there.
site where it's buried.
That faces Anthony and Roxanne's shed houses, Country Road Cure, which is my brother and sister-in-law. If you guys are new around here, make sure to go check them out and subscribe as well. Country Road Cure, and they're building out the shed houses. So the front of their house, when they walk out their front door, they look at our house. When we walk out our front door, we look at their house. But we don't plan to utilize much of that space right in the front. We plan to utilize the majority of the space in the back with the 3-tier system that we had built out. We've got big plans. We'll be working on that, as we can. That's just kind of how we wanted to do it. So the kitchen sink being that direction, like Gary said, it's going to be better for me to be doing dishes that way. But also when you're walking in the front door, you're not walking right into a kitchen. You're walking more into like a living space, like a greeting
area where you're not seeing all the, the kitchen and everything else like that.
Yeah. And that might just be a difference in, I don't know, American houses versus Denmark, or because we've had a couple other questions from some of our European subscribers, and we love you guys.
Yes.
They've also suggested that we ixnay putting a kitchen and living room upstairs all together, and that all we have upstairs is just bathrooms and bedrooms, and that we keep the kitchen and living space down here in the basement. And although that is a nice idea, that's just not how it's gonna. I'm thinking of the day-to-day living and how
long-term wise. And everything else too.
Yeah.
I mean, once we get old and everything, and the kids do get out, we'll most likely grab these washer and dryer and flop it upstairs.
Maybe.
And put it into one of the bedrooms up there and make this more,
Yeah. 20 so years down the road, who knows what we'll do.
No, exactly.
What our needs will
exactly.
require.
And that's what also put into why we ixnayed the loft. Was when we do in 20 years from now, when the kids get older and everything else, it would be nice for, grandbabies, and everything else like that. I don't even want to think about all that.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
I saw babies.
You do have to think about it in the sense of while you're building, but that's where we were like, we do have a big basement. We can use this basement, and that's the thing.
And we have a very, I think especially coming from the city, it's a large property. This isn't going to be the only building that we plan to have on this property. We have very big plans for the old camp life. And so when we have guests, when we have our children are more grown young adults, and then even older adults with their own families and stuff, there's going to be spaces for them, and it might not necessarily be underneath the same roof.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So we do have plans.
Yes.
And we are thinking of our family and the long-term needs, but I think the kitchen and living room situation is just more of a personal preference and how we wanted it. Yep. I think that's basically what it boils down to. Yep. But anywhere on the property, you got a good view. Anywhere. This is a gorgeous piece of property, and you walk outside and you got a beautiful view.
It makes it easy too when we do have the deck right there. We'll be able to move the food out of the kitchen straight to the deck and everything. So
for entertaining out there and stuff like that. So
flow wise for us and what our future entails and everything, it's definitely best to have it that way.
That's what we thought. Okay, this question was brought up by a ton of people, so I don't have anybody named on this one, but it was, why not mill our own lumber ourselves? We have plenty of trees.
All right.
Why are we buying lumber?
So, I don't want to deforest my property just to build my house. Yes, we do have a lot of trees. No, it's not as simple as just saw it all down and get it done on a sawmill. It takes a lot more time than what most people think. Mm-hmm. And not only that, the drying time is huge into it, and I've looked into it. And you can build with green lumber, but the problem is when building with green lumber is you have to build everything with green lumber. You can't just build it, I'm just going to throw green lumber here and there, because what's going to happen is the green lumber is going to shrink. And the stuff that you buy from the store isn't going to shrink nearly as much as that green lumber. So if you build everything with green lumber, it all should shrink together. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's fine, but we're not going to be building with all green lumber. So trust me, we've tried moving logs that are green, and it ain't happening.
Yeah.
It ain't happening.
It did happen, but it like almost broke us, and it took a very long time. And
correct. And trying to pick it up, that little bit to get it up, no, that ain't happening.
Yeah.
And so sawing it all down and everything else, the shrinkage, it's just, to us, we're saying no. And we do have a lot already sawn up. And what we can do, though, is for the siding, use that.
Yeah.
And just as it shrinks, we can go through and fill up the voids with caulking or chinking or whatever it is. So
last year we did a lot of milling.
Yes.
A lot of milling. We had a lot to get this whole area cleared out. There was a lot of trees. There was a lot of trees that had to go down.
And
we didn't want to waste them.
No. So
they're actually milled up and in a pile. Some of them are only going to be good for outbuildings. They're not really the best. Some of them are great and are going to be used for siding. So when we get to that point of siding, then it's going to be kind of cherry picking through the pile and separating, the good from the bad. And hopefully we're going to have enough to side this cabin, and if we don't, then I think at that point then we're gonna saw up some more, because we still have we do have a couple more, and all the siding that we have set aside is all pine. And there is some more pine around that we can get, but
and we might even go down to the local saw yard,
the local
and go talk to them, because we've been talking to a lot of people out here, and that's where I guess a lot of people end up going, is to the local saw yard.
You get a discount, and it's good stuff too.
So we might even just do that.
Yeah, it just depends on when it's that time. Like I said, we're gonna go through our pile, do some cherry picking, see what we got, do some numbers, see how much more we need, see if we have enough, and kind of make a decision at that point. But we do have a whole bunch of logs sawed and set off to the side drying that we did last year.
Correct.
So we do know what we're talking about when we know about the work that's involved in sawing logs and moving logs.
And we do know what we're talking about when it's definitely a misperceived thing, or everybody has a misconstrued idea of how easy it is, or they think it's easier than what it is. It's just like sawing a tree down.
Well, it's easy, but at the same time, it's not, because those things are so big, and we don't have. I mean,
It's easy if you have a tractor.
Right, we've borrowed David's tractor and stuff before, but it's not ours.
If you have a tractor, you're good. But and even still, a tractor can only go so far.
Yeah.
And that's the.
And you gotta, and like our forest, woods, whatever you want to call it, is so thick. In order to get the certain trees that we would need and for this build, we'd have to cherry pick the trees, and then also we'd have to do a lot of clearing around and about to get them trees. And to drag them out. So there's all of those things in consideration. We felt bad having to clear out the space that we had to clear in order to do what we're doing now. So we really like the tucked in into the forest type of feel. So.
Oh, we're tucked in here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So that was a very big question. I want to say thank you guys for asking it. I hope that when we're answering our questions, that we're coming off the way that we mean to.
Yes.
We're very grateful and thankful for you guys asking this to us and being interested. Yeah. And we're very happy to share with you guys.
Yes.
Crazy John asked, are you planning on trusses or rafters for your roof framing? Vaulted ceilings?
So that is something that me and Mel are still sort of discussing and planning on and everything, but we definitely are going to go with trusses. We did get price quotes on 3 different kinds, basically. One is the vaulted, and one was the standard, and then the other one was, I'm trying to remember what the name of it was. I can't remember.
You a squirrel?
Yeah, well, I mean, so it comes up a little, and then it flattens off at the top. I forget.
I don't know the technical name.
Cambridge or
something.
Or I can't remember exactly. But we got price quotes on all those, and we're gonna make a decision here soon.
Yes, and lucky for us too, the turnaround time from order to it being on your property for that is very small.
Yes.
So we are waiting until we have more of this upstairs done before we even order. We're probably going to wait until we know we're like, 2 weeks out and then order it, because right now the timing of it is...
When we got the floor truss, they said 2 weeks, and it showed up in like 10 days.
Yeah. It
And
showed
I
up
was
in
sitting there
less
like,
than...
I wasn't ready for this, but okay, like, holy crap.
The last thing that we want is for big expensive materials like that to be sitting out outside in the weather with the freezing and the rain and yada yada. We want to be able to get it delivered and then get it up. Like,
So once we're about
quickly.
a week out from it,
Yeah.
and that should give me enough time to where I can get some of the innards going and get that all prepped and everything else like that. But it's going to span the whole, so none of the walls inside will actually be weight bearing,
Right.
per se.
Right. They're all like, faux walls or whatever.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that's why I went with 2x6s as well. I don't know if that was on there. I haven't looked at the questions yet.
It's not on this list, no.
No, but I saw that in some of the, from a couple of the comments or whatnot. Why did I go with 2x6s and not 2x4s? It's, the roof is spanning that whole distance, and that's what's sitting on it. And not only that, I've got 12-inch block all the way around, so I can go 6-inch. I can go 6-inch.
Gary's like, I got one shot at this. I want to make it super strong.
Yeah, I mean, and then not only that, but I can also go R21 on the walls, and that will give us a really good warmth for up there.
Yeah.
Versus down here, so.
Sharon wanted to know, when are we going to see your new car? Sharon, I will be showing the new car very, very soon in an upcoming video. She's filthy right now. We took a trip over to David, Come On Mountain over there, and we had a good dinner together. But man, if you guys know anything about Come On Mountain, that is some rough roads, which the car made it. The car made it and did great. No problems whatsoever. Going through that big old river and everything. It was perfect. But she's filthy and she needs a nice washing. And I don't want to show her to you guys like this because it's not her best foot forward. So, and I'm still thinking of a name. I've been getting that question too a lot. Like, what are you going to name her? So I'm debating. I think I'm going to do a poll. But I already know what you guys will choose if I do a poll. So I'm kind of like, I don't know, what do I need? Maybe I'll put the names in a hat and I'll just like pick it out. I don't know. I have a couple ideas. So soon, I will say soon, probably in some vlog videos that we have coming out, because I got some vlogs that I'm working on for Simple Life, where Gary's going to be working on some build stuff, but we also have a lot of like hodgepodge stuff where it's a little bit of footage of this, a little bit of footage of that, and I'm going to, blend it together and do my thing, and you guys will be seeing that. So the best I can say is soon. Okay. Diane Bryan, would you be able to hire a crew to help you?
We could, but we're not going to. The biggest thing is with us is the pride and just doing it,
Yeah.
It's me and you that came out on this journey to build this house and everything. And there's going to be times like setting the trusses. Yeah, we're going to have to call in some buddies.
Yeah.
We're going to have to call it in because that's a very important time. I've got to get on the horn and try to figure out with what kind of equipment I can rent and everything, so I can get those trusses up there.
Yeah, because it's gonna be high up in the sky.
Yep. So
there will be times of phoning a friend, but for the majority of the build, Gary and I really want to do this by ourselves. We want it, like we've done the whole basement by ourselves with a little help from some of our friends here and there, and we appreciate it and love it. But the feeling of accomplishment, it's almost like you get addicted to it. Like in a way, like once you start believing in yourself, and once you start saying, you know what, I can do this, whatever the hurdle is, whatever the obstacle is, I am gonna jump as high as I can go and I'm gonna go over it. And you fall sometimes and that's okay, but you just keep getting up and you just keep going and you keep going. And once you start seeing that like manifest in your own life, it's like you just want more of it. Yeah. You start believing in yourself and you start really going for it. And then it's amazing what can happen when you do believe in yourself and you don't give up. And so for us, like, It's part of our legacy for our children and our grandchildren, and so on and so forth. Oh man, grandma and grandpa built this. Like it's part of that. So like Gary was saying, pride. But it's also like,
I don't like being told that I can't do something.
right.
I'm very hard-headed.
No.
Extremely so. Being told that, I hate when people say that you can't do anything. Everybody will always sit there and say something that somebody wants to do. And it's like, oh, you're crazy for it, or like whatever it is, like when it comes down to it. Like people they're like, man, you're nuts, type thing. It is what it is. So, I mean, to me, it's whatever. But the biggest thing is that you can't let yourself say that you can't do something.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do, set your mind for it and do it.
Yeah.
Because the only thing that's going to happen is what? It's either you're going to do it or you're going to fail. Are you scared of failure?
Yeah.
If you're scared of failure, you're never going to do anything.
Then you are going to fail, for
exactly.
sure. And one thing that we talk about is it's never really a failure until you give up.
Correct.
Because every failure is another opportunity to kind of like...
It's a learning curve.
Yeah, it's a learning curve. Tweak it and twist it and adapt to the challenges and learn how to overcome them. So
the light bulb didn't just happen.
No, no.
All right, I'm just saying. Engines didn't just happen.
Yeah.
Things went boom and it did not work out. So I'm just saying You can't say that you can't do it. I guess I can't say that you can't do it, huh? Or you can't say that you can't say that.
I don't know. It sounds like a double negative.
It is a double negative.
I don't know.
I just heard myself say that. I can't, whatever. You know what I mean.
Y'all know what we mean. But really, honestly, we could hire a crew. We're not going to. We want to do this. This is something that we've dreamed about doing. This is very fun to us. The building and figuring things out and making it work. And then at the end of all of that struggle and all of that stress and strife or whatever of trying to go through all of that, when you do get through it, that feeling of accomplishment on the other side is just unbelievably... there's no words, man. There's no words. It's just a beautiful, beautiful feeling. And as long as we are physically capable to, I wanna keep going after that. And I know that you feel the same way.
Oh yeah.
So that's why we wouldn't be doing that. But we will be phoning a friend. There will be phoning in friends for some help on some of this, because it's just 2-man crew with that much weight. I mean, I know we're gonna have heavy machinery and stuff at some point, but you guys will, when we figure all that fine tuning out, we'll let you know.
Yep.
So we've got 2 more questions, and I know this one's getting a little long, so we are going to have to run, so we're going to try to hurry up with these. Sorry, guys. Greg Johnson, so the kids will have to go through the living room to take a bath and shower. Yeah?
Yep. It's really not going to be that much of a walk.
No.
Right now, they have to go through the kitchen, dining room / area, and then also the living room area, and then into the hallway to get to the bathroom. Mm-hmm. We're right there next to the bathroom.
Yeah, so it's really not a big deal. You take your clothes that you're changing with you into the bathroom. You lock the door. You take your shower. You do your thing. You get out. You dry off. You get dressed. You unlock the door. You leave the bathroom.
Correct.
Privacy is not a problem with that.
No.
And it's not a far walk. It's literally walking across the room.
It goes for us too.
Yeah.
Well,
no, I mean for now, yeah. But when the cabin's built, we'll have a master bathroom.
We'll have our master bathroom, yes. But that's what I'm saying though is like right now it's the same for us.
Yeah, we have to do that too. You take your clothes with you into the bathroom. You lock the door. You take your shower. You do your thing. Get dressed. Leave the bathroom.
Correct.
So it's not a issue.
No, it's not.
Mm-mm.
And then our kids are big kids to where they don't really go. They don't wake up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom.
No.
They're pretty good for the most part.
And even if they are, like, when you live in a place, like, you know where your things are. Like, you know where your stuff is. You know about, like, you live in that space, so...
I can see that. I can see the space area, too, in my head, and it's just going to flow perfectly for it, so...
Very nice. Very nice flow.
I ain't worried about it.
So thank you, Greg, for asking the question. We got Skirt Skit. Will your deck have access to the lower section? Mine does not, and it's driving me crazy. Thank you for the question.
Me and Melanie are discussing that. We're in debate because
On how
and everything else. And the biggest thing to me is if we do put it underneath or in the deck area, it will take away space in the deck because you have to have head space. You have to have head clearance to be able to walk.
Yeah.
So there goes that. And the only way to really save the most amount of space is the spiral staircase.
But those are a pain in the butt.
But those are a pain in the butt if you're using it, all the time. Which is why I was like, I'm fine if it was for the loft because that's for the kids. I'm not going up there.
I would be going up there to clean. But since the loft is ex-nayed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's where I'm like, And so now I've got to figure out something to where I can make it go to that area and still be covered.
Yeah, because I mean, it doesn't have to be, it's not an end all, but I would like it to be covered because it does rain out here all the time. And I'm thinking if we're on the upper deck and I want, we're having like a get together or something and people are on upper and lower deck, it would be easier than having people tramps all the way through the house, especially if the kids had already gone to bed or whatever. It would make it easier. But what if it was raining? Well, the upper deck and the lower deck would be covered for the rain. But then if the stairs are on the outside over here, the stairs are exposed. I don't know. We might end up doing it whatever way Gary feels like is going to be the best structurally, financially, etc. That's what we're going with. Endgame. Like, Gary is 100% the boss of this build. Like, I have things that I want, I have things that I might like or whatever, but at the end of the day, Gary is the man. He's the decision maker, and what he says is best goes, period. There's no wiggle room for that, period.
I've got to figure out the roofing anyway.
Yeah.
For that area, and because it's going to stick out 10 feet.
Yeah.
Off the wings,
I hear
what
you.
I mean?
I
So
hear
I
you.
got to figure out that roofing regardless. So I'm not saying no.
That's just a little. That's just a want.
I know.
It's not like it has to.
I know. I'm not saying no, but I'm saying that it might not. I don't know.
Yeah, no, we're going to figure that out. But stairs from the upper deck to the lower patio is definitely in the plans. We just haven't figured out how we're going to do those stairs yet because of my little want of it also being covered. If that was not even a thought at all, then Gary already would have a plan. But he's now trying to...
Oh, I had a plan.
Yeah, he did. He's just trying to now incorporate like my desires into the plan because he's a great husband. So that's what he does. So, well, guys, this one has run already pretty long. I want to thank you guys so much for hanging out with us today. We tried to answer as many questions as possible. If you guys have any more questions, please drop it down in the comments section below. I have a feeling the next few days we will be getting more and more questions, and as they come in, we'll be answering them and giving y'all updates on what's going on with us this holiday season. Little sneak peeks behind the scenes on what you guys can expect on the main channel.
Yes.
There is still a lot coming down the YouTube for y'all, so stay tuned for that. But we're gonna get on it. I got cookies to bake, you got things to build, we gotta tighten up some around here, so
yeah,
we all get to getting. But thank you guys again so much for the love and support, for hanging out with us today, and we will be back tomorrow with a new episode of Real Talk with SLR and a new upload on Simple Life Reclaimed soon.
Oh, yes.
So until then, guys, we love y'all, and we hope you have a good one.
And we'll catch you on the next one.
Bye, you guys.
Later.